Learning to Ride, written by Erin Knightley, read by Cortney Patterson.
When I first had the idea for BookShots, I knew that I wanted to include romantic stories. The whole point of BookShots is to give people lightning-fast reads that completely capture them for a couple hours in their day, so publishing romance felt right. I have a lot of respect for romance authors. I took a stab at the genre when I wrote Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas and Sundays at Tiffany's. While I was happy with the results, I learned that the process of writing those stories required hard work and dedication. That's why I wanted to pair up with the best romance authors for BookShots. I work with writers who know how to draw emotions out of their characters, all while catapulting their plots forward at breakneck speeds. Erin Knightley is one of those authors, and Learning to Ride is one of those stories. Here you'll meet Tanner and Madeline, two people from entirely different walks of life who find themselves taking an unlikely chance at love. Their path seems impossible, especially since Madeline is so determined to make a name for herself at her new job. I hope you enjoy their journey. James Patterson.
Chapter 1. Staring at the rough and tumble, straight out of an 80s movie Roadhouse bar before her, Madeline Harper couldn't help but reconsider her decision to come here at all. Clearly, the echoing silence of the past few days was messing with her sanity. Neon pink and blue signs buzzed and flickered from the darkened windows at the front, proclaiming the names of several brands of beer she didn't recognize, while a larger white neon sign proudly spelled out the bar's name, the Rebel Yell. God help her. At any sane point in her life, she would have turned around, gotten back into her tidy little white two-door BMW, and driven back to her motel room. She would have opened a nice bottle of wine, slipped into her favorite boutique pajamas, and gotten lost in a good book. However, after doing exactly that, every night this week inside the world's sleepiest motel in the world's quietest town, well, she needed noise, and people, and energy. She had no illusions about finding the same sort of beautiful, chaotic bustle she was used to back home in New York City, in a town where exactly one place of business was open past 8 o'clock on a Thursday night. The Rebel Yell would have to do. And really, it wasn't all bad. The parking lot was surprisingly full. While definitely honky-tonk-esque, the building was at least in decent repair, with fresh wooden railings lining the 3 steps to the door. Best of all, the lively din of music and laughter emanating from within were the first signs of real life she'd seen in a week. People, music, drinks. Not all that different from a club in NYC, right? And she had wanted to do Texas right, hadn't she? At least that's what she and her friends had joked about when she'd learned of her promotion and transfer to tiny Sunnyvale, Texas, only weeks ago. They had all crowed with laughter over their caramel appletinis after Aisha had declared Madeline must send pictures of the first cowboy she encountered. Bonus points if he's wearing nothing but a cowboy hat and a smile. She grinned now, thinking about it. She wasn't the type to pick up some random cowboy, or random banker, stockbroker, or bartender, for that matter. But the memory did lighten her mood enough for her to push past her misgivings. Drawing a fortifying breath, she squared her shoulders, climbed the stairs, and pushed through the saloon-style louvered doors. The place was dark and smoky, but full of life. She scanned the room as she made her way to the bar, trying not to look like too much of a tourist. The walls were made of rough-hewn planks and covered in lassos, bridles, old pictures, and beer signs. Something told her this wasn't the replica stuff you saw on the walls of some of those chain restaurants. Just like the cowboys at the bar weren't the kind from a Hollywood set. Everything about the place.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?